There comes a point in every marriage when two people, who once stood starry-eyed at an altar, discover that love is not just a feeling, it is a commitment, a practice, and a delicate, living exchange of emotional, mental, and physical intimacy. Among all the elements that hold a marriage together, trust, communication, respect, patience, there is one aspect of connection that is often left unspoken, overlooked, or buried beneath daily responsibilities: sex. For many, the word alone can stir discomfort or hesitation. People often reduce it to something merely physical, something instinctive, or even something trivial. But in the context of marriage, real, lifelong marriage, sex is not trivial. It is not a luxury. It is not a bonus feature. It is a language, a powerful force that binds two lives into one shared world. It is both ancient and deeply human. And when nurtured with intention, vulnerability, and love, sex becomes one of the greatest sources of marital strength. Today, I want to explore this often avoided landscape, not crudely, not superficially, but honestly, emotionally, spiritually, and humanly. Because couples are struggling silently. They are hurting quietly. And many marriages suffer not because love disappeared, but because connection withered. My friend, if you are married, preparing for marriage, or healing from a difficult season in your relationship, this message is for you. And I invite you to listen with an open heart. 1. Sex is emotional communication in physical form. In marriage, sex is not simply a physical act, it is a form of communication. And like all communication, its quality matters. When two married people make love, they are speaking without words. I choose you. I desire you. I see you. I trust you with all of me. We are still us. Sex is a declaration of connection that cannot be fully expressed through conversation alone. It is the body saying what the heart sometimes struggles to articulate. So understand this. When sexual intimacy fades, emotional communication often fades with it. Not out of neglect, not out of malice, but out of silence. And silence in marriage is dangerous. A lack of sexual connection can slowly turn into a lack of emotional connection. Couples begin living like functional roommates, handling bills, raising kids, sharing a home, but missing the magic that once made them partners, lovers, and teammates in life. Healthy sexual intimacy replenishes emotional intimacy. It keeps the bond alive. It reminds both partners that love is not only spoken, but felt. It reinforces the sense that, you and I are still connected, still intertwined, still choosing each other. 2. Sex helps heal the wounds of daily life. Life is exhausting. Marriage is beautiful, but marriage is also work. Careers, kids, responsibilities, pressure, financial challenges, sadly, these things don't ask for permission before they drain us. Stress enters our minds. Fatigue enters our bodies. Distance enters our marriage. But here is the truth. Sex, loving, intentional, compassionate sex, is healing. It releases tension. It softens resentment. It reminds you that you're not fighting life alone. It brings peace to a heart weighed down by the demands of the world. There is a reason physical touch is one of the universal human love languages. It calms the nervous system. It reduces stress hormones. It increases feelings of closeness and empathy. It builds emotional safety. You are never more vulnerable than when you're naked, physically and emotionally. And yet, in the arms of the person you trust most, vulnerability stops being frightening and becomes comforting. In marriage, sex can be an act of healing. A way of saying, this world is hard, but here you are safe. 3. Sex is a sacred bond, not just a biological one. Biology explains why sex feels good. But marriage explains why sex means something deeper. In marriage, sex is sacred, not because of tradition, but because of transformation. It transforms two individuals into one unit of trust, unity, and shared life. It is an exchange of love, not just a release of pleasure. When two married people come together physically, they reaffirm their covenant. They renew their commitment. They remind themselves, the world may change, our circumstances may shift, but we remain one. The sacredness is not religious alone, it is human. It is primal. It is spiritual. It is emotional. It is symbolic. Every married couple, no matter their culture, language, or background, instinctively recognizes that sex strengthens the bond between them in a way nothing else can replicate. 4. Sex creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates intimacy. True intimacy is not just physical closeness, it is emotional nakedness. To be intimate with your spouse is to be fully known, fully seen, and still fully loved. Sex forces us to confront vulnerability. Insecurities about our bodies, fears of not being enough, hesitations about trust, self-doubt, emotional walls, deep wounds from earlier life. But when a spouse responds to that vulnerability with gentleness, affirmation, passion, patience, and love, something powerful happens. The walls come down, the heart opens, intimacy deepens, vulnerability becomes a gateway to emotional connection, and emotional connection becomes a gateway to a stronger marriage. 5. Sex strengthens attachment, scientifically and emotionally. Biologically, sex releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This is the same chemical released when a mother holds her newborn child. It creates attachment. It reinforces closeness. But the emotional bonding goes beyond hormones. Sex builds comfort, trust, familiarity, reassurance, belonging, connection. It acts like glue, quiet but powerful, invisible but unbreakable. A marriage without sexual intimacy may function, but it often struggles to flourish. A marriage with healthy sexual intimacy stands on a foundation that is deeply reinforced. 6. Sex prevents emotional drift. Marriages do not break in loud explosions. They break in quiet distances. Tiny emotional separations, small resentments, moments of feeling unnoticed, unloved, or undesired. Sex is one of the most effective ways to reconnect when life pulls you apart. A couple that prioritizes sexual intimacy, healthy sexual intimacy, stays emotionally close. They share affection and desire. They maintain a sense of partnership. They create memories of tenderness instead of memories of distance. Sex says, I still feel connected to you. I still want you. We still belong to each other. Without that reassurance, couples begin to drift, even when they don't intend to. 7. Sex reinforces commitment and reduces temptation. This is not a topic many people like to discuss, but honesty is necessary. A marriage with healthy sexual intimacy reduces the emotional and physical vulnerabilities that can lead to temptation. It does not eliminate temptation entirely, because temptation is a hard issue, but it strengthens the marital bond so solidly that outside influences become weaker, less appealing, and far easier to resist. Sex helps maintain closeness. Closeness helps maintain loyalty. Loyalty protects the marriage. A partner who feels emotionally and physically fulfilled within their marriage is far less likely to seek validation, excitement, or intimacy elsewhere. Sex does not guarantee fidelity, character does. But it supports fidelity, connection does. 8. Sex is not about perfection, it's about presence. Many couples struggle with sexual intimacy because they believe it must be perfect. The perfect timing, the perfect mood, the perfect setting, the perfect body, the perfect technique. Let me say this clearly. Sex in marriage is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about showing up for your spouse. It is about choosing intimacy even in imperfect seasons. It is about creating connection, not performing an act. It is about enjoying closeness, not achieving an ideal. Your spouse does not need you to be flawless. They need you to be present, affectionate, willing, and emotionally invested. Sex is meaningful because of love, not because of performance. 9. Sex teaches patience, compassion, and teamwork. A marriage thrives when both partners understand that sex is not just for one person, it's for both. Healthy sexual intimacy requires communication, patience, empathy, understanding, gentleness, active listening, willingness to learn, willingness to adapt. It requires teamwork. It requires emotional intelligence. It requires love. Sex strengthens the marriage because it requires partners to become better for each other. It asks, how can I love you better? How can I understand your needs? How can I connect with you more deeply? How can we grow together? When couples embrace this mindset, sex becomes a powerful teacher, a teacher of kindness, selflessness, patience, and unity. 10. Sex must be protected, prioritized, and nurtured. In marriage, sex will not always happen automatically. Life gets busy. Schedules fill up. Exhaustion creeps in. Children demand attention. Stress takes over. Routine dulls desire. If a couple wants to keep sexual intimacy thriving, they must guard it intentionally. This means setting aside time, communicating honestly, turning off distractions, nurturing affection throughout the day, healing emotional distance, resolving conflict instead of burying it. Valuing intimacy is a marital priority. Just like trust, communication, or affection, sexual intimacy must be cultivated. It must be invested in. It must be protected. When couples treat sexual intimacy as optional, it begins to fade. When they treat it as essential, it grows stronger. 11. Sex can restore what life has broken. Every couple faces seasons of struggle, disagreements, misunderstandings, disappointments, insecurities, emotional wounds, financial burdens, family stress, mental fatigue. But one of the most beautiful things about marital intimacy is that it can rebuild what life tries to break. Sex can soften anger. It can remind partners of their connection. It can reawaken tenderness. It can refresh affection. It can reignite desire. It can restore unity. Even when words fail, touch can speak. Even when hearts grow distant, intimacy can bring them close again. Even when the world feels cold, marital love can rewarm the soul. Sex is not a substitute for communication, but it is often the first bridge back to emotional safety when communication feels strained. 12. Sex is a gift, a human, emotional, spiritual gift. Sex in marriage is not dirty. It is not shameful. It is not unholy. It is not meaningless. Sex is a gift, given to strengthen love. A gift that builds closeness. A gift that fosters unity. A gift that deepens connection. A gift that maintains passion. A gift that replenishes emotional energy. It is a human gift, designed for companionship. It is an emotional gift, designed for bonding. It is a spiritual gift, designed for oneness. When nurtured with love, sex becomes one of the most beautiful expressions of marriage. 13. If you want a strong marriage, do not neglect this bond. Marriages break not because people stop loving each other, but because they stop connecting. If you want a marriage that lasts, talk openly about intimacy. Heal emotional wounds. Reach for your spouse. Reconnect physically and emotionally. Initiate affection. Make intimacy a priority. Understand each other's needs. Grow together, not apart. Sex is not the only pillar of marriage, but it is a powerful one. When it is removed, the relationship loses a critical form of emotional glue. When it is nurtured, the marriage thrives with renewed love, energy, and devotion. 14. Let this be your reminder. If you are married, hold your spouse close. Be gentle with their heart. Be generous with your affection. Reach for them not out of duty, but out of love. Do not wait for perfect moments, create them. Nurture intimacy not for performance, but for connection. If you are preparing for marriage, understand that intimacy is not a bonus. It is not optional. It is foundational. It is sacred. It is necessary. And if you are healing from a difficult season, begin small. Talk openly. Reconnect gently. Be patient with each other. Allow intimacy to grow again, slowly but lovingly. Marriage is not about avoiding storms, it is about holding each other tightly through them. Sex, when approached with love, empathy, and respect, strengthens that hold. It binds hearts. It blends souls. It unites lives. It keeps two people connected, even when the world tries to pull them apart. Final words. My friend, sex in marriage is powerful, not because of the physical act, but because of the emotional, spiritual, and relational transformation it brings. It is a language of love, a bridge between hearts, a healer of wounds, a bond of unity, a sacred connection that strengthens the foundation of marriage. Treasure it, protect it, nurture it, value it, and let it be one of the many ways you say to your spouse, I choose you, every day.